Tanisha.
And I'm Sheree.
And we are Black San Diego, empowering our community. Black San Diego is a platform for Black-owned businesses, entrepreneurs, and professionals in order to empower and strengthen our community.
So today we're bringing you BSD University to help you start, develop, and sustain your business. Welcome to BSD University, 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 University. We've been operating Black San Diego since 2016, and as we've been navigating this business journey, we've made some mistakes.
Right.
We've learned, we've grew in business. What do you feel like we've learned?
I think we know that this is a journey, right? We've had to learn that we needed to get our business insurance.
FBN,
We had to get seller's permits,
business banking,
and not to mention licensing,
and EIN.
right? I think this is something we need to chat about a little more.
So come on BSD, let's chat with us. So now we've been operating Black San Diego since 2016, and a lot of people ask us like, where'd you come up with the name of Black San Diego? And I just have to ask you because you're actually the one that came up with the name Black San Diego.
So we were literally just sitting at the table, chopping it up, eating chips and salsa, and trying to brainstorm on names. And it's like, hey, we're in San Diego, we're Black, let's appeal to Black San Diego.
Right. So when you're picking a business name, it's like, what is your name? What's the meaning behind it? What are you trying to represent? What information are you kind of convey? So you have an FBN, you have a DBA, and what do those terms actually mean? Well, we have Chida Rebecca here to explain exactly what those are.
Hey Black San Diego, I'm Chida Rebecca, also known as Chida Warren Darby, and I'm here to talk to you today about fictitious business names. So I'm going to give you a little bit of background on how I became so familiar with this process. Some of you know my family owns the Voice and Viewpoint newspaper, which I co-published and co-managed for almost 10 years. So growing up in the business, a lot of people came to our office needing to file fictitious business names. At one point early on in my career, my family also started the first Black Chamber of Commerce. So I had a lot of experience dealing with FBNs on the Black Chamber side and the newspaper side. I want to share a little some details with you about the process today. So a fictitious business name, also known as an FBN or a DBA, which stands for Doing Business As, is just an additional way to identify your business. So if you're going into business and let's say your company is called Janet's Nails, it's a good idea to set up a business that will separate the work that you do from you as an individual. So it's kind of like creating a doppelganger of yourself, if you will. I'll use myself as an example. So currently I have a consulting business outside of my day work, and it's called Rebecca and Company. Through that business, I do media marketing consulting, do graphic design, photography, a lot of different things for people. In order to establish myself in that business, I created an LLC and named it Rebecca and Company. Rebecca and Company serves as the parent company for all the work that I would do. But I needed to put a name on the company to separate myself as an individual from the actual business. So I created Rebecca and Company as the DBA for myself. I also have another DBA called Black Ann Magazine. So as an individual, you can have multiple DBAs or FBNs, whichever word you like to use or term you like to use, to represent your business. The Black Ann Magazine FBN allows me to operate my business under the role of a magazine publisher. Rebecca and Company allows me to operate my business under the role of a consultant. So DBAs really help separate you from who you are as an individual and the different businesses that you have. The process is fairly simple. When you're interested in starting your business, you get a DBA, you figure out what you like to name your business, and sometimes I recommend that people kind of sit on the name for a little bit, maybe talk it through with some people, do a brainstorming session, find out what name for your business really sticks for you, or what list of names you like to use for the different businesses that you'll start, because that name is going to stick with you for a while. Figure out what that name is, and then you're going to have to file it at the county clerk's office, and that's down at the County of San Diego office. So you can also go online and pull out that information, but that's where you will file your FBN with the county. After you pick your name and you file it and pay your fee, they're going to ask you to publish your listing in a newspaper for 4 weeks This kind of legitimizes the process. And this lets the public know that, hey, there's a new business that was born. Here's my baby. Here's my new business. The name's been out there for 4 weeks. Once that process is done with the publishing, you then can take that paperwork to the bank, and now you can open up a business bank account using the name that you just created. One thing that people tend to get mixed up in this process is they believe that when they file an FBN, that gives them legal protections as far as trademarking and the ability to stop other people from using that name. It does not. That is one part of the process. The FBN is one part of the process in setting up your business, so it does not give you full ownership. You still need to go through the trademarking process, which is a very different process altogether. And if you are interested in setting up your business as a sole proprietorship, a corporation, an LLC, an S Corp or a C Corp, you still need to go through those processes at the state level. Not only filing your FBN is going to protect you in those areas, so you need to continue the process in that. Also, another thing to note is when you do file multiple listings, you have to refile those names within 5 years, even if it's just one. You have 5 years to use that name, and then you will get a notice from the county saying, hey, your 5 years is up, you need to refile the use of this name. So it's good to keep all your paperwork and all your information from that filing process after that's completed. But you can have as many names as you like. I remember a woman coming to our office one day filing an FBN, and I think literally she filed, I want to say maybe 50 names. I don't know why or how she did this, but what I ended up discovering was that she thought that the FBN process was actually like similar to a trademarking process. So she spent thousands of dollars publishing all these names in the newspaper thinking I was going to stop other people from using her name. It didn't do that. She just ended up spending a lot of money. So to kind of mitigate stepping into someone else's territory with the name, I highly recommend that before you pick the name and zero in on the name that you want to use, that you do a search on the county's county clerk website. You can go to their website and you can type in names to see if anyone else has a name similar to yours. If they do, you'll run into some issues with trying to use that name. If a name is expired or if it's been abandoned, you can actually capture that name and use it as your own. There are 2 situations where people file FBNs and they no longer want to use the name, and that's where an abandonment process comes in at. So they're literally saying, hey, I got this name, I don't want it, I want to abandon it now. That is a similar process to filing an FBN. You have to go back to the county clerk's office and file paperwork saying, I'm now releasing this name. So those are a few little tips about the FBN process, but it's definitely needed. I highly recommend it. It's a good way to set yourself apart as an individual from the business and the work that you'll do. It really legitimizes you as a business owner, and it shows people that you're serious about the work that you're doing and the direction that you're going in your business. So if it is Janet's Nails, take that extra step and solidify it. Go get Janet's Nails, put it in FBN, and put it out there. Because in the end, if you don't take the necessary steps to set your business up properly, you could really be hindering yourself from having access to a really big opportunity because your business foundation isn't set up properly. So think through the process, think about the name, sit on it, maybe sit on it a couple of days, a couple of weeks, ask other people, give feedback. You also don't want to pick a name that might be a little misleading or distasteful. Some people have picked names and it's kind of like, what is that? I don't know if I want to do business with them. People will absolutely judge you based on your business's name. So get a little feedback from people. Sit on it. When you decided that that's the name that you want, go down to the county clerk's office. You can do it by mail. You can do it in person. Fill out the paperwork, pay the fees, put it in a black newspaper, make a play for the black newspaper. Put your FBN in your local community newspaper. It'll run for 4 weeks, and when that process is done, you're now free to go get your business bank account and go on your merry way with your business. But also make sure you have the tools needed to stay successful. That is one leg of the process. And I hope you guys got some information today. If you need more questions, I highly recommend reaching out to the Black San Diego crew. And for FBNs, all that information is online with the county clerk's office. So you can literally do a Google search and pull it up and learn more about the FBN process. Take care. Best of luck.